Welcome, everyone, to episode 2 podcast. Yes, it's a podcast, Brett. Podcast number 2. This is my week 1 matchups round with a little bit of a draft recap kind of spiced into it also. Listen, guys, it's Sunday, September 2nd, and it is almost football season. By the time you guys watch this video, it'll be even closer to football season. Trying to keep you guys salivating at the mouth with these podcasts and kind of make your week just a smidgen better by getting this 10-15 minute video from your best, the commissioner, in fantasy leagues everywhere. So listen, guys, I'm going to jump right into it. I'm excited that the football season is right around the corner and ready to mold the season and see how it plays out for everybody. So, hey, listen, first matchup, diving right into things here. We got Todd versus Eating W's. Yes, I said...
Todd.
Get used to that drop, boys. That is going to be a staple this year based on Chris's good draft he had this season. It always helps when your ping pong ball gets taken out of the box first because he landed Todd Gurley, who obviously is a fantasy force to be reckoned with. But what Chris did better than that is he came back and he got Jordan Howard, who's going to be in a revamped Bears offense. And he also got Stephon Diggs. Yes, he might have got him a little early, but Diggs is primed for a huge season with Kirk Cousins at the helm. So listen, Chris has a good team. He's got Deshaun Watson. He paired him with Lamar Miller. He should catch some passes in that offense. He also has Will Fuller. I think Chris is a Texans fan. But on all seriousness, Chris has assembled a good team. Eating W's, Brett is always pesky. You know that he did not get the last pick this year in the draft, and he is very happy about it. He was able to snag some steals. He got Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry, Andrew Luck, Julio Jones, Tyreek Hill. He's got some good players on his team. Things I'm worried about. Andrew Luck. Is he going to come out of the gate hot throwing 300 yards a game? Or is he going to be a little bit more timid? Are they going to run the ball a little bit more? Are they going to play it a little slow? Week 1 against Cincinnati, that defense doesn't really scare me. It could be a shootout potentially. Julio Jones at Philly this week. He should have a good week. I don't think they have anybody that can cover him really, but will the Falcons take that next step this year and kind of get back to where they were a couple years ago? Love Kamara at home against Tampa Bay. Should have a great week. Derrick Henry worries me a little bit. Is he going to be that guy that ran 20 times a game into the line and just fell over and died like a lawn chair? Or now that Murray is gone, is he going to be the guy who scores 15 times this season? It's going to be interesting to see what they do here with Deion Lewis and with Derrick Henry. Jack Doyle's a little weak at tight end, but hey, you got Andrew Luck throwing the ball. They scored touchdowns. A little hookup for you too there. With Todd Gurley playing Monday night, Jordan Howard playing Sunday night, and Deshaun Watson against New England, man, they're going to have to throw the ball in that game. You know New England's going to put up points. I really like Chris to win week 1. I think Brett is going to be eating an L week 1 against Chris, and Todd rolls this week. So anyway,
Todd.
Can't get away from that drop, guys. Can't get away from that drop. Moving on to the second matchup, always a staple. The battle of the brother-in-laws, Weapon X-Men versus the Wrecking Crew. Hey, listen, Terry had a good draft. Drafting remotely through the new Sleeper app is a great success, by the way. It's never good when your third-round pick goes down and tears his ACL before the season starts. Jerick McKinnon did go down. He was able to scramble on the waiver wire and get Alfred Morris. It's a good pickup. He's going to be the lead guy there. I know they got Matt Breida filter there also, but I think that Alf's going to be the workhorse. Week 1, you're relying on 2 guys, Adrian Peterson and Alfred Morris, who are a little older. In fact, if this was 2012, they both ran for over 1,600 yards that season. AP, of course, had his famed 2,000-yard season that year. So Terry might be trying to rewind the clock a little bit and get some value out of these 2 old-timers, if you will. Terry also was able to get some other good picks in the draft. Obviously, he was able to get... Hold on a second. Let me get my phone to cooperate with me here. He was able to get... Leonard Fournette in the first round. It's a good pick. He's solid. Odell Beckham Jr., anytime you get him in the second round, if he's back and healthy, he's going to have a good season. Russell Wilson, that offensive line is a little bit better. Wide receivers are a little bit banged up. No more Jimmy Graham. We'll see what he does. But listen, Otley, he's got a good team. Antonio Brown, first pick. He's playing Cleveland here week 1. He's got Tom Brady and Gronk. That is a scary connection. Yeah, he took Gronk a little early, but I mean, he could be worth it if he plays a full season. He could be the fantasy MVP this year. Devonta Freeman, another great pick. He's clearly has a good team here. Week 1, with some of the question marks and some of the injuries that Terry has, I think I'm going to go with Weapon X-Men to come home with a win week 1. Moving on. Matchup number 3. We have Balls Deepest versus D's Nuts, our league champion. In this game, we have the Battle of the Balls. You got Balls Deepest and D's Nuts. I guess you guys are really proud of those names, guys. Listen, Kevin's the reigning champ. He's the first guy to tell you he knows more about football than you do. And listen, he drafted some key running backs just like last season. But this year he's got some question marks at the running back position. I'm the first one to say I love Dalvin Cook. I love him to death. I think he's going to have a great year. Latavius Murray's there also. Is Dalvin going to be the goal line guy? Is Latavius Murray going to get 12 touchdowns this year because they don't want to run Dalvin into the line and keep him healthy? LaShawn McCoy, he's a good player. He is in trouble. He might get suspended. He probably won't. But he's probably on the worst team in the league this year. I'm on record saying that the Bills are the worst team in the league. Their quarterback their quarterback situation is a train wreck. They have a bad defense. Yes, they made the playoffs last year. Yeah. Tell me. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. LaShawn McCoy at Baltimore week 1 especially is going to struggle. Jordan Reed, I had him last year. I said, hey, you know what? It's a late round pick and give him a shot. He sucks. He never plays. He's hurt. Prove me wrong. If he plays even 12 games this season, I'll be surprised. Week 1, is he healthy? He's already hurt. Let's see what he comes out and does. Alex Smith does love the tight end. It's definitely a sleeper pick. And then Josh Gordon, I know he was going to be on your team before the draft. He worries me, man. He's banged up already in camp. I think he's got a hamstring or something nagging him. They said he might be on a snap count. You also have Allen Robinson, who I haven't seen play in 2 years. Listen, I'm saying some harsh things about your team, but listen, Drew Brees is good. Thielen is good. Obviously, Kareem Hunt is good. I had him last year. He was fantastic. Not in this league. Obviously, Kevin had him on his team in this league, and he won the championship. So I think there's some question marks. I think when Dalvin gets up to speed, I think when Josh Gordon gets up to speed, I think that you'll be okay. But week 1, it's going to be tough. On the other hand, Pearson's got a very well-rounded team. He's going with David Johnson again, who screwed him last season, but now he's healthy, and the Cardinals should be better. Say which one about Sam Bradford. When he plays, he's not bad. You got Joe Mixon, who I'm a little worried about, but he plays the Colts week 1. I think that's a good good start for him. Cam Newton, Keenan Allen, these guys are going to lead him, I think, to a week 1 victory. Brandon Cooks might be a little bit of a dark horse pick. I don't know what to expect of him in St. Louis, but I think Pearson gets the job done week 1 and knocks Kevin off. Kevin just slammed his phone, actually, as we're watching this video, live reaction from D's Nuts. So moving on to matchup number 4, we have Rolls Royce facing off against Taking L's. Zach, you might want to change that team name. I know you were changing that last year when you were struggling. You came in 2nd place, and that's a new season, buddy. So right now you have the worst team name in the league. And yes, 2 people are named after balls. So you might want to change that. Anyway, moving on here through this. Zach has a good team. He had a good draft. Couple things I'm worried about. Le'Veon Bell, as of this podcast, he is not at the team facility. He's still probably at a strip club somewhere. But he has Cleveland week 1. Last year when he held out, I remember he had a slow start. Will they give him a full workload week 1? Will he even be there week 1? Carson Wentz. I like Carson Wentz. He's injured. He's got Jimmy G currently in the lineup right now. Is that something they'll switch if Carson plays? Is Nick Foles going to be a starter? Doug Peterson came and screamed at all the guys in the media today for putting words in his mouth. I don't know what to think in Philly. If I was the Eagles, I wouldn't start him. He's going to be your quarterback for the next 15 years. Let him rest 3 weeks. You just won the Super Bowl. So, with Nick Foles. Alex Collins, I think, is a sleeper, good pick. I think AJ Green's definitely going to have a bounce back season. He's going way too late in drafts. I think he'll finish as top 5 wide receiver this year. Moving over to my brother's team, Jake, he had a good draft. Saquon Barkley hung around way too long. He went 9th overall. Came back, was able to get DeAndre Hopkins, who's probably the 2nd best receiver in football right now statistically, and he's got a good young quarterback. He's got New England this week 1. I really like that matchup. Kirk Cousins, come on, man. You think I'm going to say anything bad about Kirk Cousins? You're crazy. So I like Jake's team. The one guy that concerns me a little bit, Royce Freeman. I have Royce Freeman in another draft. I think he's a good player. A little worried about his workload week 1. We'll see what he does. The coach there seems like an idiot, but we'll see what happens. So, hey, week 1, like I said, Zach's got some question marks at quarterback. Zach's got some question marks at running back. I'm going to go with Jake and Rolls Royce to rev up that Rolls Royce week 1 and get a week 1 victory there. Moving on to the last matchup of the week. And yes, it is my matchup, and it is the matchup of the week. It is me versus my father, Dean. It's always been a rivalry since the beginning of this league. This matchup of the week, Dean probably has his best team that he's had in years. Last year he pulled a muscle at the draft, and I don't think he was seeing straight while he was taking some of his players. Took Aaron Rodgers in the first round, and we've been ragging on him since he did that. Obviously, he broke his collarbone, and the rest is history. But this year, got Rodgers back on his team. This time he paired him with Ezekiel Elliott and Michael Thomas before he took Rodgers. So that's a little bit of a different upgrade than last year. Running back 2, Jay Ajayi, a little weak, but hey, he's going to be the number 1 guy there, and obviously they're going to lean on him heavily if some of the other key offensive position players are out. He's questionable for week 1 as of this podcast, but I fully expect him to play. This just in. So another guy that might get off to a hot start, he's got Chris Hogan. I mean, week 5 he might slow down, but right now it's him and Gronk. Who else do they have? I think they kept 3 wide receivers today during cuts, and they just picked up 2 guys I never heard of. So I think that he could obviously have a good season. As for me, my first 2 picks went totally according to plan. I got Melvin Gordon and Christian McCaffrey. I love both those guys. I wanted to have both those guys on my team. Doug Baldwin, I like. I know he had a knee thing going on. I heard he was getting better. Apparently he's going to be playing with a bad knee all season. He's going to have to manage it. I'm a little concerned there, but again, they lost Jimmy Graham. He's definitely the number 1 guy in Seattle. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. Amari Cooper, I love him for a bounce-back year. So, I mean, listen, Yahoo predicts Dean to win. He's got, like I said, Aaron Rodgers. He's playing at home. First game back after his collarbone thing against the Bears on Sunday Night Football. I love that matchup. I'd be lying to you if I didn't. Zeke's going to get a ton of carries like he always does. I think Ajayi Thursday night is going to have a good game. I hope he doesn't, but I think he's going to. And then he's got Travis Kelce and some other guys, that I think can make an impact. For me, I need to hope Trey Burton, who I have a love affair with, I think that he's going to have a great season. I think he's going to be the Travis Kelce in Chicago. I've been telling everybody that. And I think Matt Nagy's going to make him that player. I need to hope Matt Stafford on Monday Night Football can bring it home for me and give me a week 1 victory. I think he's going to hopefully need to be the difference maker. Will he put up 3-4 touchdowns against the Jets? Or will the Jets and my boy Sam Darnold, Darnold six-pack, will he give the Lions enough run that they have to throw and score some points? So I'm going to predict myself to win, as I always do. This just in, but Dean on paper has a legitimate shot at beating me. But we'll see. Darnold six-pack's going to win. So listen, that's my predictions. I promise you guys guest stars. I don't have Brad Pitt here, but who I do have is my brother, Jake Harding. Let's give Jake a round of applause.
What's going on, guys?
He is here. He's here in the flesh. So listen, Jake, what I'm going to ask you here, I'm going to ask you a couple questions.
All right.
My first question for you is, give me 1 or 2 things that you did during the draft that you're happy about your team, and just tell me some of the things you think you did well.
All right, well, my first 2 picks went completely according to plan. Got Barkley and Hopkins at picks 9 and 12. Couldn't have done better there. And then little late sleeper pick. I got Carlos Hyde really late, and it seems like he has emerged as the main back in Cleveland. So I think he'll be just fine this year.
All right, so it's just some good picks there. What about a weakness? What's one thing that you think you can improve on with your team right now?
Okay, well, I got a couple things. I think I drafted Mark Ingram just a little bit early. I think 6th round I got him, or 7th round around there. And also, I think I could improve on my wide receiver 3, but I have Alshon Jeffrey coming back after week 2, and I should be fine there after week 2.
Okay, all right. So, what is your opinion on your team overall? You're happy with it?
Overall, I think I got the best team in the league. I think nobody else has a shot.
All right, I like the confidence. All right, so your team name is Rolls Royce. You love Royce Freeman. You have him in. We and him are in another league together. He loves them. It's like he's the flavor of the week, flavor of the year. Tell me do you think, I mentioned to you earlier. Todd won't go away. Todd. I mentioned earlier, do you think Rolls-Royce will start out hot, or is Devin Booker and this other guy, Lindsey, are they going to eat into his carries?
Well, at first, this coach, he doesn't really know what he's doing. I think Booker will eat into his carries a little bit, but after the first few weeks, I feel like Freeman's going to be taking over the role as the feature back there.
Okay. And the week 1 matchup against Seattle, are they a good defense?
Playing with confidence.
Okay. All right. So he's got him in locked and loaded as a starter. Who do you think in the league? I know you're all over the website. You watch it as much as the rest of us do, go in and study the other teams. What's the team in the league besides yours that scares you the most?
All right. I'm not really scared of anybody, but one other team that I do like is my week 1 opponent, Zach. Once Carson Wentz comes back, I don't really see any weaknesses in this team.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, do you have any messages for your opponent week 1?
I've just been thinking what I was going to say to Zach, and all I can really think of is you're going down, Zach. That's all I got to say.
Oh, I like it. You're going down. So, Zach, listen, you're on notice. Our first guest star. Jake said he's going to win week 1. I say he's going to win week 1. We'll see what happens. Hey, listen, guys. Football is right around the corner. I got to play this one more time because I'm so excited about the season, boys. We're going out on a high note. All right? Commish out.